So how does one choose a good psychic?
There is actually a very simple way of doing it. If you look at the word psychic, P-S-Y-C-H-I-C, those are 7 keys that will let you choose a good one. The first one is professionalism. And professionalism does not mean that they have to do it full-time like me. It's just they need to respect you as a client, respect other psychics, and respect social conventions, not show up at the door in a bathrobe or boxer shorts. Sharing references is S. Make sure that you talk to some people that have had readings from the psychic. You'll find out how they read and if they're any good. Y stands for you are in charge of your own life, no one else. If a psychic ever tells you that you're cursed, that you have bad luck, or that your life is so screwed up only the psychic can help you, leave. There will be someone else who is more helpful for you.
Speaking of that, is there any such thing as a curse?
If you believe it, yes. The whole point about a curse is if you guys know about The Secret, the law of attraction, what we think about is what we get. And if you're convinced that somebody's cursed you and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get stomach cancer in 2 years, that's what they said, what you're doing is you're programming your body and your thoughts to show up with a big C. No, you cannot be cursed unless you take part in it. Now, what about, I want to pull this up. Anyone ever had someone just come up to them and say, well, I have something that you have to know, whether you liked it or not? Just someone comes up and gives you a psychic prediction?
I had once somebody was just kidding around.
Okay.
And like they actually read my palm and said something bad. I was like, oh my God, I'm waiting for that.
Well, that's one thing. But very often, especially if you ever go to psychic fairs, sometimes a psychic will walk up to you and say, I have a message, you have to listen to it. There's this terrible thing happening. That's called a psychic drive-by shooting. And what you can do is you can just say, I don't want your information and I'm not taking it. And if they follow you insisting, that's called harassment. Get someone to get rid of them, okay? PSY, C stands for charges. We do deserve to get paid if we're at all reasonably accurate, professional, and helpful. H stands for here I can fix anything for a price. And that's when all the things like the fake gypsies and the curses come to light. I is for inappropriate actions. Things like you coming in on a bad relationship and the psychic makes moves on you. Look, you wouldn't sleep with your doctor, your priest, or your shrink. You don't sleep with your psychic because we can't be clear for you. And C is for connections. The connections you make with us, the connections that we make upstairs for you are absolutely vital. But what you also need to know is every one of you, if you sit down with me, you're bringing me a gift. There are no accidents in our life. There is no way that there is a coincidence. If you and I sit down, we're supposed to be with each other doing something to help both of us. So each one of you, when you sit with a psychic, you're bringing a gift and a mirror to the psychic that you're with. So if you keep those 7 things in mind, you will always be able to find a good psychic. One that's helpful.
What do you think about people who make all their decisions based on just solely going to psychics? That's a little sad, isn't it?
It's very sad, and I don't recommend it because you're here to learn. This is one of the best schools in the universe. It's why we come down here. It's why we reincarnate. You can't learn it all the same in one lifetime. But if somebody comes back to me, especially with the same questions over and over again about the relationship they won't break up with, or they can't get their money situation fixed, and I've talked to and talked and talked, I'm going to be like a good bartender, and I'm going to cut them off. Because they're not listening to me, they're wasting their money, and there's somewhere else that they ought to be. We are your toolbox, but we're not the repairman. That's always up to you.
I've also spoken to many psychics who believe that dreams are very powerful. How much are you a believer?
Dreams can be very powerful, but they always have different meanings. If you have a dream where you've got several sensations, taste, touch, smell, if it's in color, if you really remember it when you wake up, more than likely you have been doing what is called astral traveling. That's out of the body. You can do that. Everybody can, just most people are not aware of it when they do it.
So these are messages being sent through us through our dreams?
They very much messages. If you see someone that you love who's passed on and it's very, very vivid, yes, you probably did meet with them up there, because it's one of the best ways for them to get through to us.
Well, we want to take some audience member readings, so
sure,
we're going to do
happy
that.
to do it.
You guys have some questions? Who has questions for Stan, Donna?
Okay.
What would you like to ask?
Hi, pleased to meet you.
Hello, Donna.
My name is Gladys. I wanted to ask you, I'm having a problem with a land dispute. We purchased this house, and we have like 120 feet by, that's the frontage, by 130. Our next door neighbors have pulled up the pegs for the surveyor's pegs. They keep calling the police on us, and they have their deck on our property, and we just seem to be getting in trouble. And the best part is it's our property. So I'm wondering, how would the outcome of this be, because it's getting to be a real problem.
Okay, when's your birthday, Les?
In July 11th.
All right. Here's the situation. You are in, numerologically, what's called a 9-year. Our lives go in 9-year cycles. And in a 9-year, it's called system dump. Everything in your life that is no longer useful to you, you either have to get rid of this year, or God's going to get rid of it for you. So what I'm telling you is, give it your best shot. If by the end of the year, say October, November, nothing is moving, that could be the universe's way of saying there's someplace better for you to be. Because you don't want that negative energy on your land.
No,
you really
no,
don't. And
no.
you want a neighbor that you enjoy. Now, have you tried sitting down with your neighbor and saying, look, we know that you've moved things. Is there something we can talk about?
I'm a very easygoing person, and I've sat and I've spoken to the neighbor, like the girl that lives next door, 3 times, and each time I've always spoken nicely to her the way I'm speaking to you. And then she conceded that a couple of weeks ago that her deck was on her property, like 17 feet of it. And I says, well, look, we had markers. We took the markers down in good faith. And then Saturday, or what was it, Wednesday? Wednesday it was, my honey was over there mowing, and she says, get off my land, and call the police. And then she did it again on Friday, and it's like...
The universe could be telling you that there is a better place for you to be. I do not believe in bad luck. You need to know that. I mean, you're looking at a 3-time breast cancer survivor. There is no bad luck. I know why it happened, and I've got the lesson down. In this case, it may be that you need to not surround yourself with people who do not have your best interests at heart.
Right.
And if there's the constant back and forth here, then the universe may be telling you there's somewhere else for you to go. So what I would invite you to do is start thinking about someplace else you'd love to be. Next year is your 1 year. Next year is when it's a whole new ball game.
Have you ever considered moving?
Well, I haven't moved there yet. See, I sold my house, and this is my other house. So it's like we were doing work on it to try to get it.
I honestly think that there is a better place for you to be. Certainly, if you want to sell it, I do believe that, especially if you wait until next year, a 1 year is a very good financial year. You probably make a fine profit on it, but there's somewhere else you need to be that'll give you a lot more peace and joy.
You would suggest maybe I flip it?
Yes. Yes, I wouldn't suggest.
Because that
say,
thought kind
you
of come
go,
to
girl.
mind, because it's a beautiful lot and everything like that. And it's a very nice, quiet area. It's beautiful. It's a hamlet.
I'm sure it's gorgeous.
But if it's going to be
wrong for
if it's going to be wrong for me, then I guess I don't want to be there.
Precisely. There you go.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
God bless.
Thank you.